Millions of dollars intended to fight the opioid crisis are going towards surprising purchases like vape detectors and stadium lights.
Western Mass News reporter Eddie Patterson joins us live from downtown Springfield with how local cities are taking drastically different approaches. Addie.
Chris and Amanda, the settlement money was negotiated with drug companies to help heal the harm of the opioid epidemic. Cities and towns across the Bay State have received funding, including right here in Western Mass. West Springfield has received more than $500,000 in opioid funds, according to our Boston affiliate WCBB. Instead of having that money go directly towards addiction treatment, $10,000 went to school vape detectors, and more is slated for stadium lighting at Clark Field. However, the city of Springfield is taking a drastically different path. Commissioner Helen Colton-Harris says the city strictly aligned their entire budget to the state's 6 approved program areas, which specifically target treatment, harm reduction, care connections, preventative education, as well as recovery resources for justice-involved individuals and pregnant or parenting women. Springfield is putting its money towards recovery and outreach organizations, issuing 3-year grants to Tapestry, Gandara, and the New North Citizens Council.
The Commonwealth of Massachusetts gave us guidance around 6 program areas that they wanted us to focus on, and that's exactly what we've done. Every grant that we have given fits into one of those 6 categories.
Commissioner Colton-Harris also tells Western Mass News the city is working to build a compassionate burial assistance program to support families who have lost a loved one to an overdose. And Western Mass News has reached out to various towns and cities in our area, including South Hadley and West Springfield, to learn more about how they're spending the settlement money. But at this time, we have not yet heard back. For now, reporting live in Springfield, Addie Patterson, Western Mass News.